Hey everybody, welcome back to the Avenue. Today's video I am stupid excited for. So I made press-on nails, but I don't like how regular press-ons are made. So, like, you know, if you go to the corner store, I mean, you go to any store, you go to H-E-B, grocery store, whatever, you go to a nail supply store, the press-ons are basically made like tips. They're basically full-length tips with a design on top. For me, it just looks weird. It doesn't look like a natural fake nail would. I know the oxymoron of a natural fake nail, but it just doesn't look like real, because I get long nails, right? So if I have a nail this long, my apex should be, you know, pretty visible. But with press-ons, they're not, because it's just the tip, because you don't plan on wearing it long term or whatever. I just don't like the way they look. So I rather put, you know, a little bit more work into my press-ons. So you're gonna see today how I make mine. So tune in, tap in, tap in. So first things first, I use a hand. It's kind of tedious because I only have one hand. I need to get a second hand so that I can do all 10 at the same time if I really want to. So basically what I do to prep, instead of like your normal prep process that you would normally do on a real person, you don't want these to stay. So what you're gonna do is instead put oil, just a little bit of oil, like cuticle oil, on the nail. Putting a little bit of that, when you're ready to take them off, they're gonna be able to pop right off. Trust me, okay? And so here I'm starting with her thumbnail. I know it looks like really wide. Like, it looks really wide to the point where I like triple checked the measurements she gave me. Because what I want for you to do rather is measure the widest part of your nail. So for me, on this finger, right, that's gonna be like from right here to right here. That's the widest part of my nail. So that you measure that part, and that's how long I'll make the nail, and I'll mark that. Like, you can kind of see on this on the pinky ring here, I mark the nail. So I'm gonna stay within those lines, because those are the lines of the thickness of that person's nail. So when I say they're custom, I don't just mean the design. I mean, like, literally the nail bed of the press-on is custom. And I bring a nail file just in case, you know, it might be a 1/4 centimeter too big, you know, once it gets down to the bottom. It may not be as wide as the widest part of your nail for some reason, happens. So I always supply like a nail file so you can kind of carve in at the bottom, at the back half. And so she basically wanted a French set, but instead of the normal, like, you know, little cute curved line, we did V's. We did a French V, which was really fun and really easy, actually, especially because I didn't have the person in front of me. So I used Cover Earth from Young Nails, and then now I have what's this little knife called? Let me see. Anyway, now I have a knife that I use. It's like a 3D art and craft knife that I got from the Dollar Tree, y'all. Dollar Tree has an arts and crafts section. Check it out. So yeah, now I use that. But anyways, in this video, I'm using my cuticle pusher, the opposite end of it, and I'm cutting that into a nice tight V. And because once I'm done with all of these, I'll then take the white and do it on the opposite side. Tip for when you are cutting acrylic, wait till it is semi-dry. Even right now when I'm doing it, like right now would have been the best part to start doing it. I started taking it off just a little bit too soon, and when you do that, the rest of the acrylic hasn't fully, like, it doesn't need to fully harden, but it mostly hardened to the point where it moved because I took off a piece of it. So just warning, little tip. And still before we put the white on, because we want that line, that V, to be perfect, we're gonna take a file. I have a 180 grit file here, and we're gonna chisel down the side so that those V's, as I'm like gonna show you here so you can really see it, it's gonna be like, you know, well, like this. So I had to reapply and put some more of that Cover Earth powder down on that side, and then reapply some of that white. And then I took my cuticle, the other side of my cuticle pusher, or epinicium pusher, I'm gonna start calling it, and then just took off that white part so it could just still be nice and pretty and perfect. Till that V is present and pretty. And I don't know why I took them off the nail. I think because at this point, because I had to do the other hand, I had popped them off of the hand. And so I only had 5 on the hand and 5 off the hand. So the 5 that I had off my hand, I had to kind of free-handedly put down the acrylic. So if you run into this situation and you don't have one of these things, which I have now, so I won't run into the situation again. I have these, so I can take these, unless they have, because I still don't have my other hand, I can put the first 5 onto these by adding a little bit of this fun tack. So you put a little bit of this on here, and then you stick the nail on top, and then that would allow me to easily go ahead and run that acrylic down the nail versus how I had to do it. So if you don't have these things and you find yourself doing this, what I recommend doing is, which is what I did, is you do the front half first. Basically, I made the front, or I did the front or the back half, doesn't matter. Did the front half, let that dry, came back to it, did the back half, and honestly, it looked great. It looked perfectly fine. You couldn't tell that, you know, I had messed up or that I had a difficult time doing it at all. At least not to me. My client didn't complain either, so that helps. And then what else? What other tips would I say? Yeah, that's really it. That or get 2 hands.
Thanks y'all for checking out the Avenue. I'll see you guys in my next video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.